Looks like we're live.
All right.
Survey says tweet is out. Hey, what'd you think of the GIF of you and Mick Foley?
I don't know who Mick Foley is.
I don't know who Mick Foley is. I know you wouldn't. Cactus Jack?
I thought that guy's name was Diesel.
No, you're thinking of Kevin Nash. I hit you with one like 20 minutes ago. You must not have seen it.
I mean, I'm looking. You've been sending me my face on wrestlers for the last several hours, and I don't know I don't know how to respond to it.
The one on Twitter where you break out like Mr. Mako.
I thought Mako had something to do with like mock drafts.
Well, it does. That's the joke. So Mick Foley had a stinky ass sock that he kept in his pants.
No way.
He would pull it out and put it on his hand, and then he'd grab you by the mouth with it, and he called it Mr. Socko. So you called it Mr. Mako. You're breaking out Mr. Mako.
I see you got to be Razor Ramon in that first one, which is pretty cool.
Yes, I enjoyed being the bad guy, right?
Throws that
toothpick. Toothpick. I don't have a pod, dude, today. I'm sorry. I want to apologize in advance.
So what are you drinking? C4?
No, it's a Monster.
No, all right. I got my water.
It's only 8 o'clock here. I'm not ready for Monster yet.
You ready? Would you rather? Let's start this thing.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. What's better than this? Guys being dudes here on the Draft Dudes podcast presented by Locked On. It's Joe Marino and Kyle Krabs from the Draft Network, and we are your hosts here on this live Thursday night episode of the show. It shows up Friday in your feed. I'm Joe. He's Kyle. Welcome. We're doing Would You Rather.
We are doing Would You Rather. So we tried this last week for the first time, Joe, and we had a pretty good time with it. We know each other well enough that we can put each other in some uncomfortable hypotheticals. A lot of it's football related. Some of it doesn't have to be football related, but the vast majority of it, we're both aspiring team builders and GMs, and we like the team building process. So that's kind of the angle I took with some of my hypotheticals today for Would You Rather, to try and get inside your head, with, especially because I know your forecast for the cornerback market is quite aggressive. So I
feel good about that.
That's my first one.
Let's do it. I want it.
Okay. So you've told me several times you are mentally preparing yourself for the Buffalo Bills to pay Tre'Davious White $20 million per season.
Oh, if he takes $20 million, sign him right now.
Okay, so what are you prepared for them to pay?
As high as 25.
$25 million. You're prepared for the Buffalo Bills to pay $25 million to Tre'Davious White per year.
Oh, yeah. So I want to know what your question is here.
So would you rather pay Tre'Davious White $25 million annual average salary, or would you rather have the Jalen Ramsey trade package?
Oh, man, that's good. So here's what I think is going to happen with the cornerbacks. Ramsey's first, right? He has to get done first. He's going for $20 million
this year.
Yeah. So what, Slay's at 16.6 or something like that?
Right, which is why I think you're out of your mind that the market's going to get pushed this heavy.
Kittle just reset it by 50% at
George Kittle's a completely different animal at the tight end position.
Got $22 million. The next highest was Lane Johnson at 18. I guarantee Ramsey gets $20 million a season. And then you have Humphrey, Tre'Davious White, and Marshawn Lattimore, Marlon Humphrey from the Ravens. All of those guys are going to push for more than 20. So that's why I think it's going to fall in that 22, 23 range. I'm mentally prepared for 25. So the question is, would I rather have Trey White for a 4-year, $100 million? So you're giving me at the maximum of my limit that I want to go, or 2 first-round picks?
Yes, the Jalen Ramsey trade package.
All right, so I can only hope. Here's how I look at that. I have to hope that one of those first-round picks becomes Trey White. All right, an All-Pro cornerback,
or a marginally less return that's still a plus starting cornerback. Because your expectation is I'm going to trade Trey White and get Trey White back. That ain't going to happen, right? Like, that's not a realistic expectation to set.
I'm not doing it. And because the teams like the Jaguars do those deals because they don't have enough around Jalen Ramsey for him to matter, right? Like, he's just a lost superstar on that team. For them, it meant more for them to have that draft capital and not have to pay Ramsey because they're nowhere near making Jalen Ramsey matter. The Bills are perfectly designed to make Trey White matter, and He's a core player for your football team. He's your first draft pick that you made as a head coach, is Sean McDermott. I'm hanging on to that guy. He's great for the locker room. He makes game-changing plays on the football.
$25 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
$9 million more than the market high right now.
Yes, because you know how this goes. We saw it today, literally today, with the tight ends. We saw it with the defensive ends. Bosa got $27 million. Cornerbacks is going to catch up. It's been overdue to reset, and it starts in a big way with Ramsey getting $20 million at least this year.
Okay.
All right, your first one. Would you rather become the general manager of, you get to take over one of these two teams, the Houston Texans, or the Seattle Seahawks?
Man, that's incredibly tough.
So I gave it to you.
Do I have control over what the coaching situation looks like? Absolutely. Or is it one of these hierarchy things where you answer to the owner and the coach answers to the owner and there's a kind of horizontal chain of command?
You're in charge of it all.
Oh. You know what's crazy? We were talking today on the TDN scouting staff meeting, and Jordan Reed made a pretty compelling case that Houston's got a better offensive line than what the Seattle Seahawks do, right? You've got a younger quarterback in Houston, but it gets tough because you don't have a lot of wiggle room. Now, granted, Seattle doesn't have a lot of wiggle room either, but I think Seattle has more blue chip players with more years left in the tank. And Russ isn't old. I think I'd go Seattle. Which would you go with? Because I'm curious. That's because it's such a good conflict of like a little bit more youth at the quarterback position, no first round picks, this year upcoming, a lot of deficiencies with the draft capitals, and obviously bringing in Jamal Adams. Seattle, you're going to have to pay him in a very aggressive contract, and Houston already did that. So Houston's already over some of those lumps where they don't have a first round pick for 2 years. They're kind of a year into that. They paid Tunsil. So that's a tough conflict.
Yeah, I would go with Houston, and it really does come down to Russ at 31 versus Deshaun Watson at 24. Yeah, to me, that 7-year difference changes everything in this conversation.
But Russ has such long-term aspirations. He wants to be one of these guys that plays to like 40 plus. So like I got a decade. I still got a decade of Russ.
I got a decade plus 7 more. I mean, what is there something about Deshaun that leads you to believe that he's not?
His sack rate is concerning.
Well, I would say Russell. We thought the same things about Russ at this point.
Yeah, but Deshaun's sack rate is notably higher than Russell's.
Well, okay. I feel good about
the wear and tear, and Russ never missed a start, and Deshaun tore his ACL his rookie year. So, here you go. Take from the channel. Joe hates the Seahawks for some reason. I agree with you. I think he does.
Yeah, I don't like teams that don't make draft capital count. Yeah, I mean, I love DK Metcalf, right? So, like, that's a big thing. I love Russ, but I think they've mismanaged their resources so poorly when they've had
that, because your expectation is you got a Super Bowl pedigree quarterback. Like, you got to take advantage of it. So when they don't, you get angry about it.
Yep. I just would have done things differently.
Can we talk about this real quick? Ireland.
What's
People
up?
tuning in from Ireland, man. Thanks for watching.
Thank you. Yes. Especially because it's very late in Ireland right now.
Yeah. We always hear from all of our European friends when we do the live streams that they're mad at us for doing these in the evening on the East Coast time here in the States. Joe, would you rather pay Dak Prescott $36 million annual average salary for 4 seasons, which is what Dak was asking for? Dallas wanted an extra year on the contract. Or would you rather have 3 first-round picks?
Kyle, that is literally what I have for you next.
Oh, you hate to see it.
Literally what I have for you. I'm going to read it to you. I have, if you were the GM of the Cowboys, would you rather pay Dak Prescott a 5-year, $185 million deal, which is $37 a season, or trade him to the Jaguars, who own the number 2 overall pick? You get number 2 overall. The Jaguars' other first-round pick in 2021, let's call it 16 overall with the Rams, and then the 2022 first-round pick. Damn it! I thought I was going to give that to you first too.
That's what you get
Doggone
for
it.
letting.
I'm a little upset right now. I didn't want to have to.
I'll give you my thoughts after you give me yours because I asked you first.
I didn't see. Sometimes I ask questions just so that I don't have to get them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And you beat me to the punch here. Literally the same
Bang,
damn
bang.
thing.
Bang, bang.
So this really comes. So, and that's why I picked the number 2 pick here, because it means you don't get Trevor Lawrence. It means you have to say we're good with Fields, right? We think we can take Fields at a lower rate for the next 5 years, plus all that draft capital. Dak's a good player. He's a good quarterback. You know what you're getting in Dak. Highly productive football player. Do you believe he's going to be like a difference maker in winning playoff games?
I think he's capable of it.
So do I.
I think the coaching has been a bigger problem in Dallas than Dak.
So we think that the coaching situation overcomes that, and like Dak in and of himself is better than Justin Fields and 2 first-round picks and the salary cap space that I save by not having to give $37 million a season. Doggone it, Kyle. I've been annoyed with you in my life before, but never more than this moment.
Good. I'm glad that we've documented this for everyone to see.
I know you well enough to know that I can't let that be shown, because that's where you thrive. You feast in knowing that you got me, and I let you have it here.
I've heard you say doggone it about 6 times in the last 3 minutes. So that's how I know you're really pissed off.
Can't even hide this one. Give me Fields. Give me Fields. Give me Fields and the 2 first-round picks in the cap space. I got to build a team.
That is the correct take for Dallas with the roster that they have built, the commitments that they have made. Because here's the deal. If you get away from the Dak deal and you're guaranteed you're going to get a top-flight quarterback prospect to replace him, you've got the most incredible infrastructure around him that you could possibly hope to have, right? I'm a big believer in Justin Fields. I think he's got incredible arm at his disposal. I think he's got very good athleticism. From a mobility standpoint, I think you can do a lot of the same things that Dallas has sprinkled in with Dak. And you can get out of some of the contracts that you've given out to veteran players without having to bite the bullet and tie up a bunch of dead cap. So it's a no-brainer. The question in the comments is, why would Jacksonville do that? They wouldn't. But that's not, this is the uncomfortable hypothetical I'm trying to put Joe in to make a decision, and he was clearly trying to put me in the same thing.
Yeah, and I got
this would never happen. I mean, let's be completely transparent. But like, if you were in that position in Dallas, and people have made crazy trades before, right? Like what was the Jay Cutler deal when he went to Chicago? Didn't Denver get like 2 1s?
Hold on,
your producer's going to pull it up.
He was traded for Jay Cutler and a 5th round pick to the Bears for Kyle Orton, the Bears' 1st and 3rd round selections in 2009 and a 1st rounder in 2010. So two 1s, a 3, and Kyle Orton they got
and
back.
A starting quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
never say never.
Yeah, well, that's what it would take to get Dak, right? I think we have the right package, which is always difficult.
Of that magnitude.
All right, let's bring down the mood here, Kyle. I got this one on Locked On Bills. Somebody gave me this question, and I had to deal with it on the podcast.
Okay.
It's, would you rather let's assume it's 50 yards. Okay, a 50-yard amount of
distance.
Distance, yeah.
Okay.
You have to either A, swim through shark-infested waters, or B, walk through a minefield. Yeah. My wife and I disagreed on our answer here.
What kind of sharks are we talking about here?
Sharks, shark-infested waters.
Is it nurse sharks?
They're infested with sharks. It's the waters.
Yeah, I understand. It depends on what kind of sharks we're talking about here. What's the terrain look like in the minefield?
It's open 50 yards of grass. Imagine walking across a football field.
Right, so it's not like there's not like sticks and stuff like that, right? It's not like leaves and the trigger points are kind of hidden under things.
I don't know. What the hell does a minefield look like?
I've got no clue. I'm fortunate enough to never have been one.
Right. Well, the guy who gives me this question, Vin, great listener, Lots of great questions. He walked through a minefield in Afghanistan and lived through it. I had no idea. So I have that weighing on my mind that this guy successfully achieved that.
Right. Vin is a more brave man than me. I think I'd take the Sharks.
Yeah. I took the Sharks. And this is why I took the Sharks.
I don't mess with like Shark Weeks this week and all like I don't mess with that kind of stuff. Like I don't go in past like mid calf when I go to the ocean. I'll sit down in a foot of water.
I picked the Sharks because there's no guarantee that those sharks are hungry and that they want to eat me. If I trip off of one of the hazards, I'm done. It's over with. Game's over with. So I'm taking my chances with those sharks not desiring to eat me.
And right, it's like if it's a nurse shark, they don't even really, their mouths are like that big, right? Like, what are they going to do? Like take a little cup out of you?
Douglas says mid-calf is still too deep. My guy's not going in the ocean. I'll tell you that. That's great.
10 inches of water. You never know. Never know.
It's Gwillican. He says that he's going to punch the shark.
That's what you're supposed to do. That's what
you're punch a mine.
No, that's true. That's absolutely true. We actually got a good one from, since we kind of overlapped on a would you rather. We got a good one from ATH 2088 in the comments, and I'm going to put it up here, and we can tackle this one together. You're the New York Jets, and you have the number 1 pick. Would you rather shop the pick or shop Sam Darnold and take Trevor Lawrence?
Give me the fresh QB.
Give me the
Trevor
fresh Lawrence.
QB. Yeah,
because your worry about Sam, right, is what, I don't want to say damage.
That's the right word, damage. Yeah.
But what damage has been done to Sam's development that can't be undone? Because that happens to guys where their confidence is shaken, and I don't know how you take a look at Sam Darnold and what he's put on display thus far in his NFL career. And granted, it's still a small sample size, but you look at Trevor Lawrence and compare the two. Like, I want the guy who's going to inspire the most confidence in me that I can win a championship with him. And even when Sam has played well, Trevor Lawrence is still that answer for me.
All right. You want to do some of these mock drafts?
Yeah. You want the first one, or you want to? Yeah. I have a Bills mock and I have a Patriots mock.
Okay. And I have a Washington mock.
Okay.
So we've been talking a lot about the Washington roster and like a lot. So I want to see if you'll take this or the simulator.
Okay. So here's what we're going to do. Boom. Look at that.
Wow.
It's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
You can put my face on wrestlers, and we can do mock draft simulations on the internet.
This is a beautiful thing.
Yes.
So do you want to give the first one, or do you want to split mine since I've got 2?
Yeah, once you give me one, then I'll do mine, and then you can do yours.
I'll even let you pick your poison here.
Do the Bills first.
You want the Bills first?
Yeah, I want the Bills.
Okay, I'm going to read to you the Bills players that I picked for Buffalo.
Okay.
Hand-pick this. Cornerback Tyson Campbell at 20.
Okay.
You writing these down?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Offensive tackle Jalen Mayfield at 52. Assumption here is we're going to move Cody Ford to right guard and play Jalen Mayfield at right tackle.
Can we play Mayfield at guard? Can he play guard?
No.
Really? Okay.
No. So that's part of the package deal.
Okay.
Linebacker Baron Browning, Ohio State.
Okay.
Levi Onwuzurike, interior defensive lineman, Washington.
Okay, that's 4th round.
Yes. Tight end Matt Bushman.
Okay.
And wide receiver Dynami Brown from North Carolina.
That's my picks.
Those are your picks.
I'm taking the simulator. I'm leaving this up behind right now.
I tried to pick like players at positions that made some sense, but I did not want it to be an appealing Bills mock.
Yeah, I mean, that I love the corner, right? But I don't know. I'll take my chances with what comes to me here.
Okay.
We'll see if I regret it. You'll know I can't lie. So I don't know if people know that about me.
Can you confirm that you're seeing this?
Yeah, it looks beautiful
properly. All right. Yeah. So we're gonna do a fast speed, 7 rounds, automatic.
Yep.
Now I need to just ask you a question real quick. What do you
Okay.
want to see? Do you want to see the draft queue as it's happening, or do you want to see Bills picks only, and then we react to it when it happens?
Bills picks only, react when it happens.
Okay,
I'm not going to
very
get into
good.
what they could have did. Here
Very
we go.
good.
I believe. Come on, simulator,
Okay.
TDN,
So
mock
my
draft simulator.
picks. First pick was Tyson Campbell. Joe has decided to scorn the MDM.
You didn't reset the team needs, did you?
No, I did not.
All right, making sure you're not playing any funny business here.
Nope, I did not.
Here we go.
So you've scorned all my draft class for whatever MDM gives you.
Yeah, I want
Ready?
whatever MDM gives me.
Here we go. Start the draft.
I'm nervous.
The suspense here is outstanding.
Yeah. All right, come on. Here we go. Wow, the Bills are picking so early. Wow. Come on.
Tyson
Oh!
Campbell, okay.
So Tyson Campbell, no matter what. All right,
Yeah,
put it
yeah.
on a sticky note.
And that's the first thing you said is I like the corner. Well,
Yep.
you got the corner.
Got the corner. What else do I get? This is fun.
Jack Sanborn, linebacker from Wisconsin.
I would have taken the offensive lineman. Damn it. Come on, we need some
Let's
bounce
go.
back here. Give me the bounce back pick. This is bad.
Oh, here we go. Third round.
Come on, this is a big one.
Jack Anderson,
Oh.
offensive guard, Texas Tech.
I goofed.
You dropped the
bad.
ball.
No, I goofed
right.
big time.
So let's talk about some of these guys while this is finishing up. We got the top 100 guys out of the way. So where's your biggest remorse out of a top 100 that could have been Tyson Campbell, Jalen Mayfield, and then who was your last? Baron Browning, linebacker from Ohio State.
Because I left behind, I got the same corner and I got a better offensive lineman and a better linebacker in the ones you gave me. And I left it on the table and I got a lesser offensive lineman and a lesser linebacker.
You still got Levi and Warren Zarikian.
Yeah, that was God intended that to happen. I don't love Cole Van Lannon.
So Jack Sanborn's actually a fun little player. I say little, he's not little at all. He's super dense and thick, and I think he projects fairly well as a 3-down linebacker. What's interesting is, Joe, the need at linebacker is, I'm presuming, because Matt Milano is an expiring contract. And who do you guys have at the other traffic linebacker position?
AJ Klein.
AJ Klein. And you just signed AJ Klein, correct?
3-year deal. Yep.
Is he expected to keep the starting gig that entire time, or is he more of a depth and start if you need him? And
he's getting paid around $6 million a year. I mean, the Bills are in sub 80% of the time, so he's a 10 to 15 snap a game Sam linebacker
for $6 million a year.
Special teams, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think Sanborn is a more attractive option in that kind of role than what AJ Klein is. I don't think he's going to replace Matt Milano.
Right, but
because he's nowhere near, like, he's a very good athlete for his size and stature, but I don't think he's like Matt Milano's like super quick trigger.
Yeah, I made a mistake here. All right, you ready for yours?
Well, hold on, I got to reset the draft here. We have a question from Nick. What is include commentary? My friend, that is administrator at exclusive features for working at the Draft Network.
Yeah. All right. So this is going to be weird because I know you're not as emotionally invested in Washington, but I need you to be a Washington fan right now. All right.
Okay.
Get your mind right. All right. Ron Rivera, that's your guy. This is your team. This is what you have the chance to accept right now. Number 2 overall, Penei Sewell, offensive tackle, Oregon.
I like where we're going right now.
Number 34 overall, Amon-Ra St. Brown, wide receiver, USC.
Okay, I don't hate it.
Number 66, Jalen Mayfield, offensive tackle, Michigan.
Oh, what a steal.
92, Reed Blankenship, safety, Middle Tennessee State. 97, J.C. Horn, cornerback, South Carolina. 129, Jarrett Patterson, running back, Buffalo. 161, Austin Watkins, wide receiver, UAB. 193, Trey Dean, the third corner from Florida.
This is a very good class. Where am I supposed to be conflicted here?
You're not. I want to see if you'll take it and then get your heart broken. Because I thought maybe St. Brown, maybe there was a receiver you may like better. It's 34. We're talking about like a first-round pick here.
Yeah, I guarantee you there will be a wide receiver I probably like better than Amon-Ra. But And Penei Sewell, you're giving. Ignore the fact that if Washington picks a 2-something went terribly wrong with Dwayne Haskins this year, right?
Well, so that's the other piece of it that I was going to say is you could get whatever quarterback you get here, right? And
They're
could
not
say
going
to
to give me
yourself,
a quarterback here.
they might.
No.
They might, Kyle.
No.
Well, let's see what happens.
All right. So
run it.
I need to make my decision first, right?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I think you're going to take it, though, aren't you?
I am going to take it. Okay, I would rather have your mock versus whatever the simulator gives me.
All right.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
It's on automatic, 7 rounds. It's fast. We're going to do my picks only. Start the draft. Penei Sewell.
You didn't get. Oh, you did get Sewell. Damn.
Okay. Very good start.
So the same.
Me likey.
This is going to be the pivotal moment here.
So Sewell, him stepping into Trent Williams' spot would be Travis Etienne. Oh,
do you like it?
You know what? I don't hate it. I don't hate it because they lost Geis.
They need playmakers, man.
Adrian Peterson is 35 after this season.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't hate this pick. Richard LeCount, this is a pretty good first 3 picks. Okay. I might actually regret this.
They have 2 picks here. Quick. Here they come. This is going to be a big moment.
Yeah, we need wide receivers, though. Brock Purdy.
Oh, no.
No, I'm out. They would hit double Iowa State. So I feel a lot better.
Yeah, you made the right choice.
I was sweating pretty hard here when it came out Sewell, Etienne, and LeCount. If they would have came out with like a day 2 wide receiver that we really like, because there's some great wide receiver depth. Well, they get Justin Ross here at 129. Joe, we were talking about, because we reacted yesterday to Todd McShay's mock.
Mm-hmm.
And Todd had put in 8 wide receivers in the first round. And like that didn't even include
Rondale
Moore, right? Yep. So it was really eye-opening to see like the depth that you get at wide receiver. And as we got through 66 and Richard LeCount, who's a pretty sturdy single high safety prospect, I was starting to sweat like, man, if we get some of these wide receivers that are on a typical draft going to be gone by the end of the second round here at the end of the third, I know I had some buyer's remorse. But yes, Braden read the same mock we did. Nico Collins and Charleston Rambo were 2 of the other wide receivers. And us here at TDN, we're not that high on both of those guys. Charleston was very productive, and Nico is a height, weight, speed guy. And we said that on yesterday's show, Joe. From a Packers perspective, he checks every single box like the Packers are going to look for at 6'4", 220.
All right. I have a question for you before we do our last mock draft.
Yes.
This is a tongue-in-cheek would you rather, Kyle.
Okay.
Let's just assume maybe you were a safety in the NFL, okay?
Okay.
Just say you're a safety. Would you rather be bored playing for the Seattle Seahawks?
Greg made me
so mad. Or would you
rather
play for the Jets?
I'd rather be bored and play for Seattle and play with Bobby Wagner and KJ Wright and that's whole secondary, Condre Diggs and
Greg Williams over here saying I've had a lot of good safeties come through, sitting there basically taking credit for anything Jamal Adams did good.
And you know what? What was the most irritating for me listening to Greg go on his big soapbox thing about Jamal? He said a whole lot without really saying anything at all, right? It's like, well, the Seattle does this and that and the other thing. And it's like, dude, you didn't really even say anything. Like you just said Seattle plays more vanilla and they're not going to be able to move Jamal around like you do in the Jets. But like Jamal literally said he wants to go somewhere and compete and win. And
well, and let's not act like there hasn't been good safeties in Seattle before. It's a product of who they've had, right? It's been like Tedrick Thompson, Bradley McDougald, right? Like it's not been these guys that you're really just going to be eager to do all these versatile things. Now that you have Jamal Adams, let's see what happens.
Life's probably a little different now, right?
Nice salty, man.
That's okay. He's allowed to be salty. So, last mock for the day on Would You Rather. I'm asking you this as a fan of a team in the AFC East regarding the New England Patriots.
Okay.
Okay.
So I
Now,
want them to get the worst thing here.
I gave them a good class. Let's be completely transparent.
All right.
And they're projected to pick courtesy of the Vegas odds at 24.
Too low.
Which means Cam Newton probably did pretty well and they stole him, and then they're going to lock him in and they're going to have a quarterback.
Annoying.
Okay.
Right.
Number 24, Jalen Twyman, defensive tackle or defensive lineman, University of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Number 56, we had a slide for tight end Brevin Jordan, Miami Hurricanes.
I don't like where this is headed at all.
119, assume he returns fully healthy, wide receiver Justin Ross, Clemson Tigers. Good?
Yeah.
151, Tariq Thompson, safety, San Diego State.
Okay.
164, running back, Trey Sermon, Ohio State.
Okay.
186, offensive tackle, Spencer Brown, Northern Iowa.
This is freaking good, man.
And 215, Joe Marino's favorite center prospect in the 2021 NFL Draft, Jack Wollaball from Duke.
It's a good player, man. Yeah, I don't want them to get this. I'll take my chances. I'm going to take my chances with whatever the simulator gives us.
So you're rolling the dice again and hoping for
yeah.
worse returns.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
The simulator's been worse so far in the first two.
Automatic, 7 rounds, fast. We're going to start the draft. My picks. We are the New England Patriots, and we are hoping, as fans of the AFC East, Joe, for a worse mock than the very good mock I was able to assemble for the Patriots. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, here we go. Guess we'll find out.
Picking 24.
24, courtesy of the Vegas betting odds. Pick number 1 was Twyman. It is Jalen Waddle.
Ooh.
This is not good. You might have screwed us here.
I don't want that. I was hoping they'd get neither player.
Well, the good news is they still don't have a 3rd round pick. That ain't going to happen, right? Because they got taken away for Spygate. Chuba Hubbard.
Okay.
Dude, this is a really good skill group now.
Right.
Edelman, Cam, Waddle, Chuba. They still got a really good interior trio in the offensive line. If Isaiah Wynn kicks it around and starts acting like a 1st-round pick, we're in trouble with this
got to be
group
healthy
in New England.
Wynn's just got to be healthy. That's his problem.
Right.
Guy started 1 million games in college. Can't stay healthy in the pros. Explain
Patriots.
that to me. Yeah.
Alaric Jackson.
Okay, that's redeemingly bad.
I'm happy with that pick as a non-Patriots fan.
And I'm not super high on Justin Ross, so that didn't move the needle for me.
I mean, we were assuming he was fully healthy, though.
Yeah, I mean,
has Levi gone in every mock?
Yeah, what is this?
Big Cat Brian is a very New England Patriots-esque hybrid edge.
I mean, let's be honest. The first 3-4 picks are really going to be what moves the needle here.
Peyton Hendershot at 186.
Yeah, that's so redundant because they have Asiasi and Keene.
Okay, but this team can't find room for guarantee you get hits on 2 tight ends. Late round flyer on Shane Buechele.
So Twyman, Jordan, Ross, Thompson, Sermon
versus Waddle, Chuba, Alaric, Onwuzurike, and Big Cat. They're both good for New England.
Right. It's not markedly worse. Like either one of these are good hauls for the Patriots in my view.
Cam getting Jalen Waddle.
Don't want that.
That'd be so good for him.
Yeah.
And you got a guy in the middle of the field in Edelman and the tight ends, and Cam made really good use of tight ends when he was there with Greg Olsen. And they've always had like that speed receiver kind of guy for him, right? So I feel like that receiver fit for them really plays into what Cam has always been so acclimated to working with.
Ted Ginn was a good player for him too. They had a good connection. So
kind of that down the field and doesn't have to be super physical. And Waddle's every bit as fast as Teddy was coming out.
Twyman would be so interesting for that defense because they've not really had that type of player. You know?
Yeah, I tried to think of like best disruptive, odd or even front that like you could get behind.
Yeah.
He's not going to be a true, like you'd have to play Bo Allen in a true 1 tech and Twyman in a true 3 tech. But like you could go Winovich as the front side end and put Uche at Sam and stack them or put them on the line. Like I feel like there's enough versatility there that could get to be really interesting.
You think I made the right choice?
I think there were more good football players in the class that I proposed versus this one.
So then I made the right choice as a rival fan to go with this.
Right, not wanting them to get all the good players.
Yeah, but they still,
but still a great class.
Yeah, problems in there too. So
go figure.
This
Hope
was
you guys
fun,
enjoyed.
Man.
Yeah. We've already gotten requests in the comments. We had, can you guys do the Bucks next from Ballard Sports Media? We will not do the Bucks tonight, but Joe, how about we do the Bucks next week? What do you think?
I think we can do that. I think we have like a contractual obligation to do Bucks stuff every once in a while, right?
Bucks stuff. Yes.
You're stupid.
Kyle Krabs, Joe Marino, another week of Draft Dudes in the books. We did a couple live shows this week. We really enjoyed it. We hope you did as well. If you're listening to the podcast after the fact, we're telling you, YouTube, Periscope, Facebook Live, the Draft Network. You can find us there. So come on over, 8 o'clock. Check us out Mondays and Thursdays. If we get something crazy that happens next week, I don't think it'll be any worse than 2 of the 5 Power 5 conferences canceling their fall seasons in the span of an hour from each other, which prompted us to go live for an extra day this week. We will go live if something crazy happens, but you can count on 2 live shows a week in addition to your regularly scheduled podcasting programming here on Draft Dudes. Thanks as always for listening. We hope you guys enjoy your weekends. Come on back and see us again another time.